Hello everyone. Hi. So, Behavior just released their developer update for I think it's 4.70, 4.7.0 update, and I just thought I'd read it to you guys. We started. We're back with another developer update, a series of posts going over the biggest changes coming to Dead by Daylight. This time around, we'll have a long list of killer, perk, and quality of life updates that will appear in the upcoming player test build, the PTB. So, yeah, the Nightmare is getting a lot of changes. So, for some time, the Nightmare stood out from the crowd with a particularly high kill rate, averaging roughly 3 kills per match. With that in mind, we made some slight tweaks to bring him closer in line with the rest of the roster. So, we've decreased his movement speed while placing snare to 4 meters per second, previously no speed change, and reduced the maximum number of snares placed from 8 to 5. Likewise, the minimum dream pallets and reduced to 10 to 7. Okay, so the movement speed E debuff it's pretty interesting. So you can't really just plop them down during a chase because he could just go like boom dream snare, and you can't do anything. And this will help that. And like with 5 snares, like, geez, you'd really like have to strategize. Okay. A handful of add-ons have also received changes. Add-ons which previously reduced action speeds and make various actions louder. Repairing generators grants pain in footsteps. Black box is also a brand new effect. When exit gate is open, it is blocked for sleeping survivors for the next 10 seconds. Okay, so the add-ons which reduce action speeds for survivors in the dream world were kind of ridiculously overpowered. Like the ones where I can't remember the yellow one, the jump rope, and then the swing chains. And these would reduce action speeds for survivors in the dream world. And then you pair it with things like Dying Light and Thanatophobia, and nothing got done. But they would now increase the sounds of actions, which might be interesting. I might want to try that. And what the black box did, is you became obsessed with Survivor. That Survivor started asleep and could never wake up at all. So I think they changed that because not being able to wake up might be a little too powerful. And it only blocks it for 10 seconds, which is, I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. Okay. Alarm clocks have also received some tweaks to make their effects clearer and more rewarding. Using an alarm clock will make you fully immune to sleep, including sleep caused by a killer hit, for 30 seconds. The effect is now shown on the HUD by turning the sleep timer yellow and having it tick down. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, when you wake up using an alarm clock, usually it takes you 60 seconds to fall asleep, but waking up with an alarm clock will pause that timer for 30 seconds. Basically, you have to wait 90 seconds. But originally, if Freddy hit you, you would still fall asleep during that 30 seconds. But this now makes you immune to any kind of sleep, which is pretty interesting. You know, it kind of encourages alarm clocks. I think it says right here. With these changes, we have to promote more strategic use of his dream traps rather than placing them constantly during a chase, as well as encouraging survivors to seek out and use alarm clocks to monitor his performance closely and adjust their necessity going forward. Yeah, here's the thing. Like, usually when behavior nerfs a killer, they usually buff a certain aspect of them, so it's kind of like a kind of neutral net change, but like, dang, they really knocked Freddy down a peg. Okay, the Demogorgon. Our focus of the Demogorgon is giving more mobility with its portals, and we made its following changes to base portals. So increase speed while in a portal, so it'll speed up the rate at which you move through the upside down. Reduce cooldown after exiting a portal, which would be nice, so we could use portals more often. And then increase the undetectable length after exiting a portal. On top of these changes, we also done a complete pass in Demogorgon. So I actually like all these buffs. The increased speed will help him keep the pressure up. The reduced cooldown will make him use his portals more often, which are really interesting. And the undetectable, I think baseline was 2 seconds, which was straight up useless. So it doesn't tell you how much it will be increased, but I think it will be a lot more viable because the undetectable was basically useless unless you brought add-ons. So I hope that it will make the undetectable usable baseline, which I like. I think Demogorgon is very powerful, but kind of weak on his own, so I'm very glad that they're buffing him. Excuse me. On top of these changes, we have done a complete pass on the Demogorgon's add-ons, making sure lesser ones are more appealing. Here's a sneak peek of a couple of them. Okay, so the Lifeguard Whistle, a rusty metal whistle that once ruled the Hawkins public pool. Survivors near activated portals are indicated by killer instincts without having to charge of the Abyss. Okay, so what this add-on used to do is it basically gave the Mindbreaker perk to your portals, where the survivors working on them would become exhausted for as long as they're working on them, and then for 5 seconds after they leave. It was kind of lame. Like, it was just kind of like a perk you already had, except for portals instead of generators. But this will make it very interesting. So, maybe when you're in a chase, you hear that heartbeat, and you're just like, okay, where's that? Okay, I should go there. I don't know, it might be interesting. Okay, the Rotten Pumpkin. Pumpkin flesh infected by the rotten soil in Hawkins. When traversing the Upside Down, the portal you enter is destroyed. Gain an additional 200 blood points for traversal. Okay, so what the Rotten Pumpkin used to do is it used to just give you an extra portal, and that was it. To be honest, I think at least in my opinion, the Demogorgon had enough portals. I think 6 is sufficient, so 7 was kind of overkill. But it kind of just gave him a meme. Like, they decide to give him a meme add-on, which are add-ons that make your power worse, but give you more blood points. Like, for example, the padded jaws for the Trapper, the Beast add-on for the Wraith, and then I think Hillbilly has the speed limiter. All they do is just make your power worse, but grant you more blood points. And I see what this is doing, so if you enter a portal, it's immediately destroyed. Don't use this. Unless you're farming blood points, please don't use this. Alright, the Huntress. Don't panic, we have not changed the Huntress's base kit. We have, however, done a pass on our add-ons to bring up to modern standards. Yes, this includes the infamous iridescent head. Okay. So they're giving her another ultra-rare add-on, which is very appreciated, because I don't know why they did it, but Huntress was the only killer with one iridescent add-on. Maybe you guys can give me some insight on this. I don't know if they just couldn't think of another one, or they just thought she only needed one. But this is the add-on they're giving her. A wrap taken from a dead soldier. It provides protection and support to the ankle and lower leg. The Huntress moves at 4.6 meters per second when she has no hatchets. This is really nice. It's a pretty cool add-on. It will basically bring her from a 4.4 to a 4.6 when she has no hatchets, so she can chase a lot better when she has no hatchets. Which, like, I think this add-on's going to be really, really good. And, like, it's probably going to be base kit if you have it. Because, like, you're really slow, you throw hatchets, once you're out of hatchets, you're basically just a normal killer, sure, with no power, but still, I like this add-on. And then the iridescent head. This add-on was so dumb. If you've played against an iridescent head infantry belt Huntress, you know. Okay, glass-like hatchet, head molded from the fog itself. The blaze warm, reverberating with the entity's power. Inflicts dying upon the victim. Caps maximum carried hatchets at 1, regardless of the effects of other add-ons. So, what this add-on used to do is that it inflicted dying on the victim, so you could down someone instantly with your hatchet, and it would bring it down to 1, except you could still change that. So you would bring iridescent head, and then infantry belt to give you 2 extra hatchets, so you would have 3 insta-downing hatchets, and it was broken. And I actually said that this is exactly the nerf that I said they should do for iridescent head. Like, just make it, just make it 1 hatchet, but you can't change it. Like, kind of like the Hag's Scarred Hand add-on, where it trumps all other add-ons. But what this does is you can't change the number of hatchets, but you can still have the other add-ons, like the ones that increase your movement speed while throwing, the ones that help you wind up faster. So you still can boost some aspects of the hatchets, just not how many you have. I think this is really, really good, and they really went the right direction with this. Alright, the twins. Let's go. I really like the twins. I know they're super weak, but I really like them. Last but not least, we have a small set of tweaks for the twins. Increase cooldown after successfully downing a survivor with Victor from 3 to 5 seconds. A 5-second cooldown. Ooh. That sounds a lot. That sounds like a lot. Like 5 seconds. And like 3 seconds already feels like forever. I don't know. Okay. Camera control is now immediately restored when taking control of Charlotte. I think this is what this means. Guys, if you don't know, when you switch to Charlotte, you have like this wake up animation. And I think what it means is you can like look around while you're waking up. I don't think it's like move instantly. Because when you switch to Victor, you're just as him and you're running and you can start running. But because I think that would make them a little too OP. The ability to, I think it, yeah, I'm pretty sure it just, you can look around while you're waking up, which will be nice. That will make it, that will make things a lot. It's kind of more just a quality of life, you know, not really makes her more powerful. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, the silencing cloth. Increase undetectable duration to 20 seconds upon taking control of Charlotte. So, sorry, excuse me. If you guys didn't know, the silencing cloth, when you switch to Charlotte, you'll be undetectable for 12 seconds. This boosts it up to 20 seconds, which is very nice. You know, just, you know, that 8 seconds of extra undetectable. It's really nice. And then the iridescent pendant, increase exposed duration to 30 seconds when a survivor crushes an Isle Victor. This add-on used to expose them for 12 seconds, and it was garbage. Like, a 12-second exposed is like, why is that even there? And this is exactly what I wanted them to do with this add-on. Just make it 30 seconds and it'll become good. Alright, so some perk updates. Okay, so small game. Small game's getting a buff. It has come to our attention that some of you really hate small piles of bones. To aid them in your totem-destroying mission, we made some long-requested changes to small game. Small game now shows the number of remaining totems as tokens on the perk, so kind of like how Thrill the Hunt works. Detection range decreases for 5 degrees for each totem is cleansed. Small game can no longer detect killer traps. These changes improve small game's ability to track and cleanse totems while also removing the ability to animate part that applies to specific killers with traps. Okay, so I like the smaller detection range for 5 degrees, so it will be more accurate the less totems there are. I kind of like that. And also, it no longer detects killer traps, which they'll probably have to do a Saboteur and a Slippery Meat with this and change the icon, because, you know, the icon's the guy jumping over the bear trap. So, yeah. And, yeah. Lucky Break. Lucky Break now hides scratch marks in addition to pool of blood to help you lose the killer. To compensate, total duration is reduced to 90 seconds. Holy crap! 90 seconds of no scratch marks? Jeez. I might use that. I might use that perk. That actually sounds really good. Okay. Soul Guard. A small change here. Soul Guard has now a cooldown of 30 seconds after activating. Realistically, this won't affect most majority of the cases. It should prevent stacking healing speeds and Soul Guard from getting out of hand. Okay. Cooldown of 30 seconds. It's fine. Open-handed. Take 2 for open-handed. We slot this update back in the upcoming PTB. Open-handed now has increased effect, 16 meters, but no longer stacks with itself. It's more appealing without needing to stack with other survivors in the match. Okay, so basically, just a 16-meter boost to all your aura reads. That's pretty good. Zanchan Tactics, a very straightforward change. Zanchan Tactics now permanently active and also has a larger range. They're probably going to boost it from, I think, 24 meters to 32 and make it so that it doesn't disable when you hit someone, which is very nice. Zanchan Tactics is very weak and it really needs all the help it can get. Okay, Borrowed Time. To remove some of the confusing intricacies of how Borrowed Time interacts with some killers and the Oblivious status effect, we have removed the terror radius condition of this perk. To compensate, we have reduced the duration of the endurance effect to 12 seconds. Whew! No terror radius. And still 12 seconds. Jeez. Wow. And once again, that's another Freddy nerf. They really... Like I said, they knocked Freddy down a peg with this update. And, well, it's still coming out. I think the PTB is open right now, so if you want to try out these changes, you can go check that out. Object of Obsession. This PTB also features the newly reworked Object of Obsession. Anytime your aura is revealed to the killer, their aura is revealed to you, and you gain a 6% bonus to healing, repairing, and cleansing speed. If you are the Obsession, your aura is revealed to the killer for 3 seconds every 30 seconds. Okay. The new version has a few benefits: being able to track the killer, being able to deduce which aura reading perks the killer is using while Object of Obsession activates, being able to attract the killer and sneak away before you can get there. With these changes, we have objects and more fun interactive perks. Okay, I actually like this, because Object of Obsession was just a meme perk. It was just a meme, and you would only use it if you really just wanted to just be toxic. It was just really toxic, and I always hated getting into Survivor games with it. But this was the proposed change they gave to Object of Obsession, and they're implementing it, except for the bonus healing speeds. So, I assume that like the killer sees your aura, you see their aura, and then for that duration, you get a bonus. This perk actually might be a perk I'd use because, like, you can see the killer's aura, and like it said, you can deduce which perks they have. Like, if you start healing and then you see the killer's aura, you say, oh, they have Nurse's Calling, or if someone gets hooked and you're far away, you see their aura, oh, they have Barbecue. I actually like that. I like that. Good job, behavior. Okay, miscellaneous balance. Toolbox. The chance to receive a skill check while using Toolbox has been increased. The change to make Toolbox feel more interactive when they're in use, and it's totally not because the lead designer had skill check and we got 3 unlucky matches in a row. Okay, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Hatches, another small tweak. We have decreased the time the hatch remains open after a key from 30 seconds to 10 seconds. Like before, if the hatch closes naturally, is not kicked shut, the endgame clocks will not start. Please note that this is not the final change keys we'll be receiving. We'll show more in the info in the future keys. That's pretty cool. Like, you know, it will just automatically close faster. Okay, so the HUD update for the 4.7.0 PTB, we made some changes to the HUD that kind of focus on the availability of the killer's powers and the survivor portraits. In this update, we'll make improvements to the Doctor's Madness effect, also made it easier to differentiate between different levels of madness, Lammer's Dream World effect and sleep timer, the Plague's infection meter, stock and ghost fix mark. Additionally, we've also addressed survivor reports so they no longer obstruct the bottom of power indicators. Okay. It's basically just if there is a killer power effect that affects their portrait, it'll be easier to see, kind of like what they did with the Trickster from this PTB to the real game. I actually like that. I mean, it's basically just there. Like, no one's gonna notice. Okay. Okay, now the struggle update. In an ongoing effect to improve accessibility, we changed the way struggling works starting in the PTB. Rather than needing to mash a button, survivors in the second hook state will now receive occasional skill checks. Skill stones are fairly large, are not looking to make struggling more difficult and deadly at this time. Missing one of these skill checks will remove a chunk of your struggle meter. If you do not attempt to hit 2 consecutive skill checks, you will be immediately sacrificed. As you receive skill checks, struggle meter will gradually decrease at the same rate as before. Our goal is to change to make struggling more accessible players with repetitive strain injuries and keeping the struggle as an interactive mechanic. Okay, I kind of like that because it's kind of hard to... Oh, I was actually mashing my spacebar. Oh my gosh. It's hard to mash your spacebar and like look around with the mouse because like I have to mash with my right hand because I'm right-handed. And like I've seen like the skill check. It's like that big. About. And I think even if you suck at skill checks, you'll still get these. I kind of like that. You know, it's not fun to mash, and yeah, I think this is a good update for the game. Okay, graphical update on Coldwind Farm. I was gonna put a funny intro here, but it was too corny. In case you missed the next Realm Star graphical update is Coldwind Farm. Check out the screenshots from the upcoming reorg. And I just gotta say, these look beautiful. I love how it's super bright, and it's just so bright and beautiful, and like you can really like see the different aspects of it, and just I don't know. I like the new Coldwind update. Hopefully it makes Corn easier to see through, because Corn legit gives me a headache. I freaking hate Corn. Okay. On that note, we've reached the end of this developer update. All the changes mentioned above will be available for testing in the week's player to this build starting April 13th. We're doing reading your feedback once you have a chance to try them out. Alright, so those were all the changes coming to the 4.7.0 update. I just thought I'd look at them and, thought it would be fun. You guys in the comments tell me what you think will be your favorite aspect of the update. I personally, probably the Eerie Head nerf and the demo buffs. I'm gonna like that, and also the struggle. I like the struggle change. So anyways, like I said, tell me what's your favorite in the below, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.